Forget what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you, and disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. And when your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
A little preview for the Second Amendment March.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The Second Amendment March is proud to present Madison Rising will be playing at the march. And,
the march, June 20th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
We're going to have speakers, but they are going to play sometime during the march.
Yep.
And it should be fantastic.
Oh, it's going to be great, yeah. And they're super excited to play, which I think is pretty cool.
They really wanted to play our event.
So if you don't know, they are billed as the most patriotic rock group in America.
All pro gun.
This gun is called Right to Bear. They have one called Lock and Load. They have, if you have heard of them, you've probably heard their rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, which is pretty good. Yeah, it's going to be awesome, man.
Right, they gave us a break, but it's not free. They're not playing for free. So we need people to help with donations, and they can go on the Facebook page. There is a donation button there,
or 2amarch.com. There's a donation button there as well. 2amarch.com.
So if you're going to be there, and we hope you are, it looks like there's 1,500 people or more that are saying they're going to go, and there's another 7,000 that are interested.
Yeah, this is excellent.
So even if we get a fraction of that. It's going to be a big event, and if you can't go, you can help by donating $5, $10, $15, $20. We've had some donations of $100 from individuals.
We have, and I appreciate it like crazy. I mean, it's amazing. And if you can't donate, at least do us a favor. It would mean a lot if you could go to the Facebook page and share the event
with your friends.
Facebook.com/2amarch, or search for Second Amendment March on the Facebook page. That would be amazing. At least share it for us, please.
Yes. So it should be a great event. Lots of people are excited about it, and if you can make it, we'll have a donation area on site. We'll have a raffle for an AR-15 223.
Yes, yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting. We finalized that last week, I think. Yeah, so there will be a raffle. You'll have to buy raffle tickets at the event.
Right. They're not. It's not a pre-sale license that we have. It's an event license.
Yep. So during the event, you buy tickets. It'd be great.
And you can donate just to help us cover the expenses. Our goal is, what, $3,000 on the donate button?
Yes.
But, if we make more than that, that would be great, because
of course. Well, so we've been doing it every year for several years. I mean, 9 years. Any overage in donations will just be used for either this year's event or next year's event or whatever it happens to be. So that's great. Again, June 20th at the Michigan State Capitol, 10 a.m., 2 p.m. Madison Rising will be there at some point.
Yeah.
Well, they'll probably be there for most of it, but they'll be playing at some point.
I think they'll be there through the whole thing, because we're going to have a green room canopy pop-up tent
with
for
lots of marijuana, right?
I don't know if we'll have marijuana.
We will not have marijuana.
But they'll be hanging out there. We told them they could sell merchandise, so they'll probably have albums and T-shirts and things like that they'll have for sale. And you could probably hang out with them. They'll probably mingle in the crowd a little bit too, but they wanted an area they could set up. So
for sure, warm up. I mean, they're a band.
Yeah, they're all spoiled just like you are in your band.
That's right. Do you know
how's your green room doing?
Okay, so no, look, I played in a band that regularly had access to a green room, so I don't want to hear it, Brian. Okay.
I don't believe
my current band. The green room is our van in the parking lot
down by the river.
We get to go outside and smoke with everybody else at the bar.
All right. So, getting into the Supreme Court case in Michigan.
Oh, you want to listen to like a long montage?
Shouldn't we do that at the end? Because that's after. I mean, we talked to the attorneys involved after asking their opinion.
I like to go backwards. In fact, I have it set up to play backwards.
Well, then the devil will appear.
Yeah.
Right?
6, 6, 6. All right, you're right. No, you're right. That was smart. Let's do it backwards.
That's twice today you said that.
Crap.
I mean,
you're listening to the Ad Odd Show. It is Thursday, April 12th.
I think I'm gonna
Did we
cry.
skip all that?
We did because we're excited.
All right, yeah, Madison Rising.
It doesn't matter.
Awesome. So we're in Lansing.
Yeah. All right, Lansing area. We don't want to tell people exactly where we are.
Oh yeah, we're not in Lansing.
1426th Street,
123 South Main,
USA, American City, USA. All right, so so they heard oral arguments. In essence, two cases that they sort of combined but kept separate. One was Michigan open carry against Clio School District, and one was Michigan gun owners against the Ann Arbor schools.
Yep.
It had gone through the local court, went to the Court of Appeals. Court of Appeals ruled that schools can definitely ban firearms because we don't like firearms in school.
Yeah.
And that's basically
how often do you get phone calls?
Never.
Do you need to take that? Do you need help? Did you just answer it?
No.
Did you need it? Did you need to take it?
That makes me mad because it was Culver City, California, and it's never mind.
It's fine.
It's my pornography.
I like Culver's.
No, it's the guy that I inquired about getting patches made for the Second Amendment March. I told him I wasn't interested now because it's a terrible company.
Let's let him know right now.
And so
listen, we're not. He's probably listening.
Probably.
And he's like, oh, I know he's available. I'll call him now. We're not interested anymore. Thank you.
And like the documentary we were listening to beforehand, that's the guy.
Oh, okay.
And so I said, no, I'm not interested. You're screwing everything up for me. And he keeps calling me. I'm going to have to block him. Anyways, getting back to the more important issue of...
well, listen, if you want to know more about the crux of the case, other than what we're going to talk about, a couple weeks ago and the week before that, we had Dean Greenblatt and Jim Mikowski on the show. So you can find those shows...
Attorneys for the plaintiffs.
Yes. You can find those shows on our YouTube channel.
Nice plug.
Don't tell them it's a plug. Make them feel good like we're...
No, they know it's a plug. They're not idiots.
It's not.
Well,
I'm joking. Yeah, of course.
You're an idiot.
That's us.
Oh, yeah.
You're pointing at it. There's
it's just us.
Mirror in front of us, and you're like, oh, those people there.
I wasn't wrong then, was I?
You're right. No, you weren't.
And so the schools are saying we can ban. We have the power, the all-encompassing power. We have the green lantern and everything, and we can ban guns because the state has given us the power, and we're saying no, you can't. You're preempted under a field preemption that the state occupies the field of gun control laws, and there are exceptions to being on school grounds with a firearm, and that's if you have a concealed pistol license, which you'll hear in the sound bites because one of the justices gets that. The one that didn't get it was Richard Bernstein.
Probably, arguably the most popular of the justices. At least his family is very popular. They didn't sell tomatoes or own convenience stores, but they're very popular. That wasn't a true story that you told me?
Yeah, I just hope we're never before the Supreme Court for anything.
Well,
and they're still justices.
What?
So Richard Bernstein is coming at from a personal injury attorney, right?
I was being sincere.
He was all being more fields. Two things. These people are elected, right? So this is politics, and they have an agenda. Mm-hmm. This is a platform because very few people get to hear their Supreme Court justices do anything. So he's got a point of view on this. He doesn't want guns in schools. He made that very clear in his questioning because it was mostly about fields. He also tends to miss the point of what the case was about. I don't think intentionally, but maybe if it's intentionally, bad on him. If it's not intentionally, bad on him.
Yeah, right.
He's talking about the actual statute of preemption. Our attorneys have already conceded that doesn't apply to the schools. The larger question is the field preemption. Mm-hmm. That's definitely been shown. Mm-hmm. And let's see if I can find it.
Okay.
All right. Now, be patient with me because I'm going off YouTube.
Oh, jeez.
And this is supplied by the Michigan Supreme Court Communications. And why can't I
How
hear
patient
anything?
do I have to be?
Very patient because
Do you need my help?
suddenly it just stopped, Nate.
Do you need assistance?
It just stopped.
Push play.
I have several times.
Well, that's your problem.
Counsel, good morning, and welcome to the Supreme Court. And I guess
This is
what I
Bernstein.
would love to do, if it's okay with you, is I want to go to kind of the core issue of kind of the case that's presented to us. If you look through the statute, it's very clear. It says village, township, city, or county. And I guess the question I would have for you is going kind of to the heart of this. If you're looking at these four elements, and we are by nature a strict constructionist court, would we not have to kind of create in order to allow for your argument to be successful?
No, because the doctrine of field preemption still applies. And under the Llewellyn analysis, the issue of firearms in schools has been examined in several different occasions. MCRGO versus City of Ferndale.
This is Jim Mikowski,
Cavalry District Library
attorney
versus
for the
Michigan
plaintiff.
Open Carry. And the courts have consistently ruled that firearms rules are preempted under state law because.
Okay. So he's trying to explain to Bernstein that no, that, and it was interesting if you look at Bernstein's expression. He was a little surprised because when Jim said no, Bernstein was like, really?
Like, what do you mean no?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
what did I get wrong?
Yeah, I'm a Supreme Court justice.
Strict
damn it.
constructionalist.
I mean, it's just the state Supreme Court, though. It's not like the Supreme Court.
Well, he'll get there someday.
Yeah, he might.
All right. So I got to try to cue this up.
Are not
And I got to stop it.
Oh my goodness!
All right, so this is.
This is why I handle the soundbites.
I
usually.
think, yeah, I wish you would have, but I spent hours on this, and
I
then
know you did, and here we are.
I had it all set up for the full 1 hour video, and then that disappeared, and then Nate found it again, and it was chopped up with different sound cues, so I had to go through and listen to everything and line it up again. This is Justice McCormick, and
Sometimes trying to do things way ahead of time doesn't
yeah,
work out.
you know, I should get just more of good enough. Just good enough. Wait
No,
to the
just
last minute.
Do it just in time, not the last minute.
right.
That's not the point.
But that bites
But
you in
do
the
it
butt
at the right
sometimes.
time.
All right, McCormick. She sort of misses the idea of private property and public property.
I don't think she does. I think you interpreted it wrong.
Okay, we'll see. And the idea was, well, the school has a right to ask you not to chew gum. Mm-hmm. It's not against the law to chew gum, but they can ask you not to.
True.
So let's see what she says, if it's the right one.
but I could still have a policy saying don't do it on my property, right? I mean, it's not illegal to chew gum, but I might have a policy that says don't chew gum on my property. And where's the conflict there?
Because the punishment is the city of Ann Arbor is going to arrest you for trespass if you're chewing gum and they tell you can't chew gum. And chewing gum is not a protected right under the statute. Under the statute, you have the right to carry an unconcealed firearm in these locations.
But I mean, as a matter of doctrinal, categories, the conflict is not between the policy and the state law, right? You need to loop in the trespass to create the conflict. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So it's sort of conflict preemption with a little bit of an angle. maybe.
Good way to say that, Your Honor.
Okay.
What are we to make of the work being done down the
Now,
street?
this is about the legislature.
The bill that was introduced in the Senate and it's out of the Senate, now in the House, that specifically addresses school districts, intermediate school districts, community college district, public libraries, local authority created under state law, and any other political subdivision of this state. They're going to include that language.
Real quick, this is Justice Brian Zahara. Starts with a Z.
The definition of local unit of government. This is a court that has gone to great lengths to express, in our opinions, our respect for the separation of powers. And you're asking us to interpret a statute and through the use of field preemption to read something into the statute that's not expressly there. Yet down the street they're working on a possible amendment to the statute. What are we to do with that?
If the legislature wishes to change the law, that is certainly within their province. That's our whole position throughout this case. In 2012, Governor Engler was presented a bipartisan bill to allow concealed carry in schools with additional training for anyone who wished to receive that training. However, it was vetoed. The legislature should be addressing this issue, not the school districts themselves. The school districts themselves have gone beyond what the legislature has allowed. There's been various bills that have been put through the House and Senate with regard to concealed carry or unconcealed carry or allowing firearms or banning firearms. Let the legislature work out this problem. The statutory language that's before this court is very clear.
So what are you telling us to do here? Will you make that very clear? What is the status of this legislation in the legislature, and what would you have this court do in response to whatever that status is?
That's Markman, the chief.
I think the court needs to
Justice.
look at the plain meaning of the statutes.
No, I'm asking about the legislation. I mean, what would you have us do with the legislation that's apparently pending in the legislature? I mean, this is a very time-consuming, resource-heavy case, and if the legislature is going to do something contrary to what this court might decide, we might want to know that that's a likely prospect.
And I don't know what the legislature will do, and I don't know if the legislature does change law, if Governor Snyder will sign it or veto it. However, I think that we need to defer to the legislature, and the legislature has made it quite clear. This court is...
defer to the legislature in terms of what it's already done, or defer to the legislature in what you think it might do tomorrow?
We have to defer to what the legislature has already done, which is create this angle, this...
Doesn't that make sense?
Yes.
You're looking at the law that's already there, not what might happen in the future.
Yeah, because you don't have a crystal ball.
I don't know why they went there. Can
Look, I think it's Stephen Doolin, always. He's another attorney who has a similar case against the University of Michigan. Always says his crystal ball's broken.
Yeah.
Right? And I think this is the case here. Jim Mikowski's crystal ball was probably broken. You don't know what they're going to do with legislation, so how in the hell can you make a judgment based on what they might do?
And why does it matter? Because the laws change all the time after courts make decisions. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's the reason courts make decisions, is to force the legislature to fix the problem.
Sure. Yeah.
So for them to go into this and ask Jim Mikowski, who has less connections with the legislature than I would assume the Supreme Court justices have.
I would think. Maybe. Jim's pretty connected.
What the hell are they going to do? I don't know.
Right.
I guess if I were Jim and I wasn't under any pressure like I am now, I would have said something like, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen. But based on past experience with our current governor, he's not a gun guy. He's going to veto stuff that deals with schools. So I'm saying that would not pass.
Yeah.
Does that help you, Your Honors?
Is that what you would have said?
I would have said that right at him. And I'd have showed him I'm surprised. I would have shown him my gun too.
I was sitting next to you during this whole thing. I'm surprised you didn't tap me on the shoulder and lean over and tell me what you would have said.
I wanted to raise my hand and say, "May I speak?"
Hi, I'm Brian. You might know me. I'm Brian Jeffs.
I do a show called At Odds, and wondering if I could interject some legal advice.
Yeah.
Here.
Wow. All right. So that was good. What's next?
Tell me the number there, 16. What is it? 16
well, I'm not looking at that. Oh, jeez. Are you kidding me? Where is it?
I thought you had that up there.
16? 39. We're playing all of these?
Yep.
Are you kidding?
No.
Why?
Because I want people to be educated and informed.
Can't we just link to the videos and they can...
That's no fun.
Oh, my.
Okay, now this is the attorney for Ann Arbor Schools.
Okay.
And I hit play and...
are educated by that school district. The issue from our perspective, I know the preemption is what is at task, but
So what he's going to explain are all his reasons why they should be able to control firearms, of which I don't think any of them relate.
It's a narrow issue in terms of the population who wants to open carry. School districts can are already prohibit the students from having weapons on school grounds. Employees can't have weapons on school grounds. And the federal gun-free school zone prohibits weapons within 1,000 feet of school unless licensed by the state. The only licensing that the state of Michigan does is concealed pistol carry.
Not quite
and
true.
When you look at the penal code combined with the firearms statute, the Concealed Pistol Zone Act, that the concealed carry is even prohibited with the exception of certain exceptions. So schools have been carved out to be particularly safety-sensitive zones as declared by Justice Scalia in Heller decision. And so we are limited only to visitors, and the open carry is what's at issue. And so the plain text of the statute, it's a partial preemption from our perspective.
Partial
it's not
preemption.
a exclusive across-the-board perspective. The plain language does not include schools. We know by looking at other statutes that school districts are included when the legislature so intends to include schools as part of the local definition of government. And there's no conflict between the policies that the Ann Arbor Public Schools adopted with any state law.
Can I cut to the quick, counsel, at least from this justice's perspective?
All right, so this is cutting to the quick. Now, you heard that ding, and Nate pointed it out. I didn't notice it, but that ding goes off after 2 minutes. And so apparently you're saying that when that ding goes off, that's when the justices jump in and interrupt you and ask questions.
At the very beginning, the Chief Justice says, okay, we're going to have a 2-minute, I think both times he said, we're going to have a 3-minute, wait, no, I mean a 2-minute quick fire period, or free fire period, and then each attorney can reserve a certain amount of time for rebuttal. They have 15 minutes. If they want to reserve some time, they can. That didn't happen.
No.
But anyway, after the 2 minutes, dinger goes off, and then the justices can jump in and ask questions. It's a really weird process. I don't like it.
All right, so this is the Chief
and I'm
Justice.
going to write him a strongly worded letter about it.
Chief Justice.
You know who I'm thinking about
Mark,
writing a letter to? Well, we didn't talk about the very beginning when we came in and the issue we had with the security.
Oh, we need to do that.
I know, but we have 30 more videos to get through, and then we'll do it.
Not quite. All right. So this is an important, I think, aspect of the whole thing.
Okay.
A provision that was not mentioned at all by Mr. Makowski is MCL 380.11A3, which basically is part of the school code and specifically says that the rights and the powers that can be exercised by school districts in the state of Michigan are broad. They're related to the educational mission, obviously. They can include safety and security matters, as arguably would implicate the accessibility of firearms. But it proceeds to say that all these authorities are except as otherwise provided by law. Then I look at 750.237A, which Mr. Makowski did cite, and it says that an individual licensed by this state or another state to carry a concealed weapon is accepted from the general prohibitions upon gun ownership and possession in weapon-free school zones. Why is that not the end of the analysis?
Ooh, good question.
Not just the beginning, but why is that not the end of the analysis?
Well, and when you look at the statutes in peri materia, weapons-free school zones is the first doctrine, combined with very few exceptions. Firearms in a trunk, or a parent in their vehicle that has a concealed pistol license. So one view is the legislature has already prohibited
this is good.
open carry on school grounds because it's limited to vehicle and only for specific purposes.
That's not true.
You're talking about a different provision. I'm talking specifically about 237.A. I'm not asking this question like I know that the answer I'm suggesting to you is right, but I mean, I'd be interested in your answer. Why is this not specifically the otherwise provided by law provision?
I'm sorry, could you please reread the second one, not the school code provision?
Scramble.
750.237A?
Yeah.
It says,
Yeah.
He had no idea.
individual who possesses a weapon in a weapon-free zone is guilty of a misdemeanor.
Yes.
Then it goes on to list categories of individuals who are accepted, who are excluded from that provision. And Section 5C says one such category accepted are individuals licensed by this state or another state to carry a concealed weapon. It seems to me the only logical implication from that, and I could be wrong, but the most likely and logical implication is that such individuals can indeed carry weapons in a gun-free zone.
The
issue here is not the wisdom of the policy. It's not whether we should have guns available here and not available.
Okay, real quick, that's what the lower court used. The issue of not whether we should or shouldn't. He's saying we have to look at the law.
Right.
Available there. The mission, as Justice Bernstein indicated, is to construe the statute as faithfully as we can.
Sure.
And I'm trying to understand why, where the principal authority belonging to schools is defined in the school code with the proviso that unless there is some other law that allows individuals to carry guns in school in weapon-free zones, it can't be done. And I'm suggesting, or at least asking, why this is not precisely the other law that effectively removes from the school districts the authority to tell CPL or CCW owners that they can't possess a firearm in a in a weapon-free zone.
Right. So I think you, Justice Markman, are hitting a very significant heart of the issue. When you look at the except as provided by the law for license, et cetera, right? Then you go to another aspect of the law, which is if you're licensed, you cannot concealed carry. And to me, what the issue about whether you can open carry is put out by the state police and everybody else that's neither prohibited or permitted, and to
I don't know where he's
carry
going
on
here.
school grounds, and consequently you have an issue if it's not.
I think his point is since it's not explicitly allowing you to do it, it must be illegal.
Which is the opposite of how
laws
it works. Yeah.
All right.
So are we done yet?
No, we got 100 more.
I was there, though. I don't need to listen to all these.
Why can courts ban guns? I like that question.
This was good. This was ballsy. Because I think he was flustered and angry, and this was ballsy.
But he had a good point.
You going to play it?
I got to find it, 2439.
Jeez.
Let's see, it'll be close.
This is
of the school district,
amateur
but the policy doesn't conflict with the state law. So
we could have done sound bites for all of these, but I know you'd been pissing and moaning at me about
it. For somebody to carry a gun. The policy can still say, but we don't want you on our property if you're doing it, so we have the ability to remove you. It's not a crime. Why is there a conflict? Why isn't it just one's a policy saying we don't want people on our school grounds with guns? Allows the policy.
Oh, that's it.
Aspect that there could be a crime, but there isn't in the instance of a school district's authority and duty to enact rules for the safety and welfare of its students, so that
have the authority to be on school property with a weapon. However, if the school district somehow has the authority to say, no, that's not going to be something.
Was it right?
That's going to be permissible in school areas because we regulate those areas. That person who yesterday could go into the school area with a weapon can't do it on the next day. The conflict is the state has said you can go onto school property if you qualify, if you have a permit. The school has said, no, you can't. That seems like a pretty direct conflict to me.
I don't know how the court gets around the same precept then.
I'm sorry?
The court.
I'm sorry.
If the court allows, or if the same exception, I understand, applies for a court. And so if then the court issues an order that says no weapons are allowed, it's the same conflict then that the school district that you're asserting that the school district has.
Well, who prevails if there's a conflict? I agree there's a conflict. That's the whole point.
So here's a good point. What gives the court the authority to ban firearms? Because there is an exception, exactly what the justice is saying, that you can carry in courts if you have a CPL.
Right.
My argument, and the justice, he bypasses that.
Well, and later he says, "I don't know about the courts."
Yeah,
I don't know.
But
yeah, right.
I think the idea is that the courts are equal with the legislature and the executive branches of the government.
Right.
They're not below that.
Right.
So that they can set rules and laws.
Yep.
Well, they can't set laws, but they can make rules.
Right. Not like a school, which is part of, or is underneath the legislature.
As I did some research into this, and I did do some, I couldn't find a lot what gave them the authority to do it. I didn't find any. But I did find in 2014 there was some challenges to this.
Yeah.
Saying it was not, they were in violation of your rights.
Okay.
And Hillsdale County changed their policy and allowed guns in courts. Not in the courtrooms, but they allowed it in the court.
Right.
Because they were challenged. And no one got up and ran with that. Because nobody wants to take on the Supreme Court.
Well, it's tough.
Yeah.
All right. We moving on to the other case?
No.
Okay.
Okay, where do they get their authority? He asked that along. Let me just... How did I get out of order with this?
Don't know.
27, no, that's it. Okay, I think we'll go to the Dean Greenblatt.
That's a really good
case.
idea.
And my computer's really slow.
Yeah, it's okay.
With another bill that was passed.
This is Dean.
That went on to be codified at 750-234D. And that specifically exempted, as Justice Markman notes, concealed pistol licensees, or at that time, those who were licensed to carry a concealed weapon, were specifically exempted from these weapons-free school zones.
Counsel, good afternoon and welcome to the court. I just want to have a
That's
better
Richard, not
understanding
Richard
from you
yet.
as to kind of the issue that the schools face. And the goal of these arguments is just for us to learn from you as much as we can. And I'm just trying to have an understanding as to the health and safety issue that the schools are going to be ultimately facing, which is, you just heard, from Brother Counsel that if an individual comes onto campus with a weapon, the school is going to initiate immediate emergency procedures. How would you remedy that, or what would you want the schools to do under this health and safety situation if this court were to rule in your favor?
What does that have to do with the
question,
case?
Justice Bernstein? I think that the schools should do what they do at the Breckenridge School District. I think they should do what they do at the Crystal School District. And in those circumstances, there is no requirement for a lockdown. That there's nothing in state law that requires schools to go into lockdown. It's not even mandatory in the State Department of Education for schools to go into lockdown. This is an overreaction by school districts in situations where the person carrying the weapon into the school building is known to the school. And in this particular case, the facts of the Clio area school district case, the one that I'm here to argue, Mr. Herman, a first responder, was carrying openly in a school many, many times for months and months before the Clio area school district decided to come up with a policy to preclude that.
All right. So Dean's point that answered Justice Bernstein's point was there are schools that are doing this and handling it just fine all over the state. There are schools that allow guns on campuses open carried with a CPL. And they aren't having any issues. Kids are still learning. Teachers aren't screaming. The sky isn't falling. All right, so let's see. The next thing I want to do. Oh, I like this. you're all for gun-free zone signs, right?
Yeah, I think they are very useful. I have one at my front door. Gun-free zone.
This is Dean talking about signs, I hope.
Concealed, nobody would know. But I don't think that putting out a sign out in front of a building saying you can't carry a weapon in here is sufficient security in any case. And if someone wants to do damage in a school and harm the people inside, they could just simply carry it concealed. Then I guess there's no problem. If the
So, put up signs. That works. All right. Oh, I want to do this one.
Oh, my goodness.
This is my favorite one.
We've been doing this for 40 minutes.
I know.
Okay.
This is McCormack. Bridget.
So field preemption is complicated. I want to talk about the conflict preemption question. It is clear that it's not, per state law, not a misdemeanor to carry, but the school policy just says, but we don't want you here if you're carrying. Where is the conflict between it's not a crime, but it's our policy not to have you here? Where's the conflict?
Well, this is the important point, is that a school district is not an ordinance-making entity. They can't make law.
But they're not. They're just saying, we don't want you on our property.
Right.
So then, you know, if you stay in contravention of their policy, which again could be, we don't want you on our policy if you wear short shorts, or I don't know what other policies they have, then they're invoking the trespass statute, right? And the trespass statute says your crime is not leaving when you've been asked to leave and you've declined. So again, it's criminalizing your staying beyond your welcome versus your carrying. Where's the conflict?
Well, I suspect maybe in the Ann Arbor Public Schools I wouldn't be welcome to openly carry a firearm. Maybe I wouldn't be welcome at all because I don't share the same political opinions. Would that allow them to say that I need to be trespassed?
You're welcome in my home with your open carry. That's fine.
The point is,
that was it. She said that he was welcome in her house, open carrying.
Open carrying, yeah, that's good. Hey, that seems like a good sign.
I like that. Yeah, I liked her short shorts. She's a nice.
Wait a minute, hold on. She was wearing a robe. How do you know?
She had short shorts on. No, she's a nice, sweet Catholic Irish girl that went to probably a Catholic school, and I suspect
all Catholics go to Catholic schools.
Right? Almost all do. Mm-hmm. And when I went, and she's not a lot younger than I am,
she looks it.
Thanks.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Something said.
Okay.
That she immediately went to short shorts. And I can remember in my school that you could not wear short shorts. The girls couldn't. Even the guys couldn't.
What, really?
No.
Weird. Let's move on.
All right. Well, this is a good one. This is where the attorney admits that state allows guns, but it's limited, and the justice goes, "That's exactly the point. They allow them, and that's what we're talking about." You don't want to hear, huh?
No, I kind of want to move on.
Courts can ban gun. Doesn't realize court is equal, but separate level of government. Okay, parents. Oh, and then the Chief Justice asked them, "Well, you know, there's a law that allows parents to drop off their kids and have a concealed weapon. Do you want to ban them?" He's like, well, you know, no, that's state law.
Yeah, right. But he did end up conceding, yeah, we could ban that. If we wanted to.
I would recommend anybody who's interested to watch the full tapes.
Well, hey, no, let's
kind of fascinating.
Listen to our interviews now.
We did some post arguments with some of the attorneys involved, and one of the principals, Kenneth Herman, and we were on the scene at odds. Your pie in the sky.
Eyeball news.
Mm-hmm. Hit it, Nate.
Got it.
well, it's a sexy case because it involves guns, but ultimately this case is about the division of power between the state and local government. And if you look at it that way, it's pretty clear how the case should shake out. But for all the emotion and the interviews that are going over my right shoulder here with students, That's what they think the case is about. It's about feelings and emotions and not the law. And I came here today to argue the law because the law is on our side.
I think we went very well.
This is Jim Mikowski.
Very good questions, great answering questions. It's clear to me that they know what the issues are. And I'm hopeful that we're going to have a decision that's favorable to all gun owners.
It was miraculous.
How do you say that? Why do you say that? This is Kenneth Herman, one of the plaintiffs.
How everything was kind of laid out initially from arguments on each side. It seems like the opposing counsel was given a lot of questions that would be not applicable to the case, but they didn't have the answers. They didn't even have the right answers being kind of led into it by the justices. And I think that goes to show that there are no real argument when it comes to the briefs in the matter of law.
I don't want to say what the Supreme Court is going to do.
Jim Makowski again.
My belief is that they are going to find in our favor, though. I think they're going to find that the Court of Appeals got it wrong.
I think that the justices have read the material. They know they may not agree with the position, but I know that they at least they're familiar with the arguments. And I think that we'll at least have somebody on the bench who will be able to reiterate our position when they go back in conference. And I know because you're in journalism, you're neutral on these topics. No, we're not. But I appreciate your support. No, we're biased. Ban all guns.
On the spot reporter.
Ban all guns.
Quip.
What?
That's it. All right. Do you want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
We won't have much time.
If you want to listen to that with better audio, go to our Facebook page.
Yeah.
The video is posted. You can also see all the children that Dean was referring to that happened to, according to the Michigan Supreme Court, says they just showed up to learn about the process.
Yeah.
Right.
What a winky dink.
With the Ann Arbor superintendent, and went out there and talked to the press about how they were afraid of guns. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have a really quick second, if you want, but we're 42 minutes in already. Do a trivia question and skip this day in history.
Well, that's...
do them both. Go.
Okay. No, I'll do this day in history. 1861, the damn Civil War started on this day in history.
Okay, so that was good. What's
World War II, the Germans launched Operation
I thought we were done.
Bernhardt to do what? Operation Bernhardt, the Germans, World War II. That's the question. What did they do?
We'll be right back.
Lock it in and rip the knob off. Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
It's a bumpy ride through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
What? Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 877-219-8770 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 877-219-8770 to take your call now. Call 877-219-8770. That's 877-219-8770. Again, 877-219-8770.
Whenever I'm feeling a little down under, I can always count on Nate and Brian for their interesting perspective on topics important to freedom and civil rights by listening to the At Odds Show. Nate and Brian cover important topics with insight, intelligence, and of course humor. I can always expect a laugh or two. So if you want to be informed and have a great time, give these guys a listen.
odds. The At Odds Show with the greatest political talk show hosts in history, Nate and Brian. And it's sad that they actually believe that. So give a listen because the delusional need love too.
Are you looking for some way cool t-shirts? Check out ChugDug.com. They have hundreds of crazy fun t-shirts like gun, patriotic, and you better believe zombie shirts. At ChugDug.com, you'll find quality shirts at a quality price. All shirts start at just $10 with free shipping over $50. Mention Radio 1 coupon code at checkout and grab a cool 10% off. That's ChugDug.com. T-shirts with attitude.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-755-9290. That's 800-755-9290. 800-755-9290.
Hi, I'm Brian.
And I'm Nate.
If you like the At Odds Show,
and we know you do,
why not order your very own At Odds t-shirt sizes small to 6XL in a cool black color?
So support our show. Check out the great prices at ChugDug.com or head over to our website, atoddshow.com, and click the link.
And unlike listening to our show, you won't be disappointed. How's that dead air working for us?
Give it up for the teams, a bunch of badasses, if you know what I mean. They're coming out of the sky, out of the sea, and on one land, gonna take it to the enemy. Lock it low, boys. Time to explode, boys. Just make sure you get home, boys. They got your back, the pride of the fleet, the pipe swinging foreman. You're the UDT. They don't do it for the money. They do it for the country.
All right, just a reminder, Madison Rising playing at the March this year. June 20th in Lansing State Capitol, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Madison Rising, the country's most patriotic rock band, according to many sources.
Be there or be square.
If you can't make it, please go to 2amarch.com or Second Amendment March Facebook page. Make a donation if you can to help defray the costs of the event. If you can't do that, please, 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 it would mean a lot if you would just share the event. Thank you.
In World War II, the Germans launched Operation Bernhardt. To do what?
We got guesses like surrender. We got sneak attack. We got bomb the Japanese, which is weird.
That was weird. They were allies.
Teach children how to swim.
That's what they did. No, it was to counterfeit British notes. They wanted to. The first plan that they didn't do was they were going to counterfeit them, drop them all over England to flood the currency.
That's brilliant. You just don't hear about tactics like that anymore. It's been 100 years.
But they changed it, and they decided that the notes were so good that they would just use them to finance espionage.
That's what I'm thinking. Just go buy bread.
And estimates up to 300 million pounds may have been made. And so they were using it to pay their spies and all that stuff.
That's great.
But by the time they stopped the special unit, they had perfected the artwork on U.S. dollars. Although the paper and serial numbers were still being analyzed.
I'm wondering, what's the difference between them printing dollar bills and us printing dollar bills?
Not a damn thing.
Right. And by us, I mean, the U.S. Mint.
Yeah, the Federal Reserve.
No, the Federal Reserve doesn't print money.
They order it printed.
Maybe.
All right, so you want to talk about Zuckerberg, your buddy. Didn't you go to college with him?
What? No. No, you kidding
Facebook.
me? Oh, yeah, he
went before
participated
Congress.
in it. It wasn't really like a hearing. He wasn't under oath, as far as I know. It was just an inquiry. He agreed to go talk to
They had some
the
questions.
committee, and they asked a bunch of questions, and it's very clear that most of the people up there and most of the people commenting on the Fox News live stream of the event don't understand how the internet or Facebook works at all.
I don't know how television works.
I know you don't. But you're not trying to regulate it, are you? Well, you are. But I mean, it's typical, and it's the same thing we see with guns. Is that it's a bunch of people.
I've got a sitcom pilot I want to get on.
It's a bunch of people up there that are trying to regulate this, don't understand it, but they're going to make laws around it anyway. It's the same with guns. They don't understand guns, so we better ban them or regulate them.
I got into a few Facebook discussions, and one of the people were making him a criminal because he's violating people's First Amendment.
No, he isn't.
And I'm saying, no, they don't understand that. And even these Congress people were asking that. And Zuckerberg's trying to defend himself, where I would have just said, listen, I'm not a government entity. It's my private property with my stockholders, and we can ban whoever we want.
Well, I think one of the senators alluded to some protection as a public forum or something if you're unbiased. I don't know if that's something that Facebook is
I thought it
but
was addressed on giving equal. Those are television stations that have to give equal time to opposing candidates. Something. I think that's what he was referring to. It may or may not apply to him.
Right.
I don't think it did.
I'm not sure.
But they asked,
for sure.
They asked him where he stayed last night, and he wouldn't answer that question.
Of course he wouldn't. I mean, this is the thing. Here's the thing, is that Facebook only has the data that you share with it. You voluntarily share. Whether you know or not, you signed up for it.
Right.
I mean, that's on you.
And you should have no expectation of privacy.
I completely believe, 100% honestly believe, that Facebook does not sell your data, which is a huge misconception. Everyone thinks they're collecting all this data and they're selling it. When I search for something on Amazon and I go to Facebook, the ad shows
the ad's
up
right there.
Well, of course, because you have everything connected. It's not Amazon is the one putting those ads on there. It's not Facebook, right? Amazon's targeting you because Amazon knows things about you because you use their website.
Right, and you probably signed into them using Facebook password.
Sometimes you can do that too. Yeah, but I mean, the thing with the Cambridge Analytica issue, which is the whole collusion thing, whatever. But people gave them the data that they had voluntarily. I mean, they didn't have any more access to Facebook data than any other developer to create an app on top of the Facebook platform. It's just astonishing that. I get that people don't understand it, but what's astonishing is that people don't understand it and they're still going to argue about it and want to regulate it. That's what bugs me.
And apparently Zuckerberg, I didn't know this about him, but he likes diamonds and silk.
Huh? I don't know if he likes diamonds and silk. That's been the big argument. It's a conservative duo, right? I guess they're funny or something that got blocked. But he admitted that was a mistake, and they've been unblocked for a while now. Couple days. Anyway.
You mean it's two guys named Diamond and Silk?
I think it's two women, maybe.
Two women
named Jennifer and Allison.
Are these the women?
I'm joking. I really don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, you're an idiot.
You don't know who they are?
I know. I know who that group is, but I didn't know they were called Diamond and Silk.
What group?
They got blocked.
I don't know.
I thought it was literally talking about diamonds and silk.
No, it's Lynette Hardaway and Rochelle Richardson.
Right. They're conservative black women that got blocked.
They're American live stream video bloggers and social media personalities.
Well, good for them.
By the way, getting blocked on Facebook, probably the best thing that's happened to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think we'd get that kind of publicity?
If we got blocked, maybe.
No. No. I think we're kind of blocked now.
No, we're on Facebook. Oh, something I did learn. I think I mentioned last week that when we try to run ads on the At Odds Show page, that they take longer to be approved than when I run them on a non-political page. He mentioned that they have increased their scrutiny on political and issue ads, which I think some of our content would fall into. So it actually makes sense that it's taking longer. That doesn't mean I like it, but it makes sense. So we're out of time.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Do you have something to say in the next 10 seconds?
Nope. Thanks for listening.
9 seconds?
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Oh, I have to wait. We're not actually out of time. We're almost. twaymarch.com, facebook.com/@oddshow.
Listen to the video of the oral arguments.
Yes. See you next week.
Bye-bye.